Yo, 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 ah. Yo, 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 tis I. Anyways, it's me. You already know who it is. I'm out here in the natures. Ah, look at that sky. Ah. Anyways, it's me. I'm outside. Um, just here to review my videos as I normally do. That sun is shining. Ooh wee. Anyways, um, I watched Backrooms by Kane Parsons, the 20-year-old YouTuber. It had Chiwetel Ejiofor kicked butt. Oh my God, he was really good, really believable, hearty character. And then you had Renata Rentsev. You know, she was also in there as an actress. She was also very compelling and good. But I think Chiwetel Ejiofor, just oh my God, he kicked some butt. He kicked some serious batukas. Um, it was just a really good movie. That being said, I'm gonna go ahead and say it was a C plus. That's my hard review because I think the visuals were good, but the story really petered off in the second and third act. But I think overall, the visuals were so amazing. The visual journey and just the strangeness, the strangeness, the strangeness of this film is just so interesting. It's so enticing. It's so easy to follow. Um, Again, just it gets boring a little bit in the middle and the end, but I think it just, and I feel like it should just had a stronger decision in the end and kind of in the second act. But I feel like it was still really, really good. I feel like it's definitely worth a watch. Even though I'm saying I kind of think like it's a C plus, I just don't think it's like boom masterpiece. I think it's just so interesting. It delivers and it's really, really good, and it's always going to be enjoyable watch. I just feel like the ending was a little bit let down, and that's my like big, heavy cannon fire critique of it, and that's really a nitpick, honestly. But I think it was good. And other than that, I think that it was just fantastic. I think it was amazing. I think it was interesting. I think especially that first act kept you on your seat and it kept you interested in. It had those major Junji Ito vibes, the Japanese illustrator who does kind of just like creepy, very intricate, kind of illusionary art and things like that in his manga, horror mangaka. Um, I think it was just kind of an American version of that with a found footage type of style where they're shaking the camera and walking around, and then it's like some lady or some dude is just voiceovering in the background. It's just, I don't know. It's a very first person type. You're witnessing it and you feel like you're part of it, and you're like looking around. And there's a lot of urban nexting vibes where people who visit scary scary places and warehouses and stuff like that. But yeah, Kane Parsons, you know, Obsession was good. Curry Barker, like 26. You got Obsession, 20-year-old. Kane Parsons, you got Microplayer. The YouTube revolution, the creator revolution is here. Yeah, yeah. Finally, they stopped listening to all these old heads and they're like, hey, let's listen to young people who actually know what they're talking about, who actually care and have a vision, and who are already good. They've already proven with their YouTube channels, their successful YouTube channels, that they can deliver, that they can tell stories, you know. And I think that's the future, that's the wave, and I think it's just gonna have more, 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 more. Let's see more female YouTubers turn directors that are like, you know, making $100 million box office stuff like that, off like $1 million or shoestring budgets, or like not that much money to make movies. Hopefully, I'm on that roster next, you know. Ha. Anyways, but I'm shaking the camera a lot because I'm just kind of pacing around. But yeah, this movie slapped. I don't know, like it did, like you know, like, and I'm super critical of it because the ending in the second act kind of like threw me off. It was like one of those like Game of Thrones things where like, yo, y'all fall off was crazy. But again, like if you're looking as a whole film, it's like, should you pay money to watch this? The answer is 1,000% yes. You know, and the movie is a good movie. It's really compelling. You know, and just the visuals, they're like you can't talk about it enough. They're just so fantastic. They're so I don't know. It's everything. It takes you on a journey and you're enjoyed. And even though the ending is kind of a little bit not wimpy, but just kind of, yeah, it's a little wimpy. You know, I thought they were gonna have a definition, and I feel like the ending too. They could have just ended a little bit earlier, and it would have been better. You know, because it'd be like. leave you on a cliffhanger, more like 1950s, 1960s, 19s, like horror movies or whatever like that, like a fire, like Twilight Zone episode type of thing, which I feel like this kind of is, like vibe wise, not like actually they try to rip something off. It was totally original. Um, but yeah, this movie is fantastic. King Parsons just has a vision and an eye for it. He did all this incredible stuff on YouTube with making Blender, which is like a just 3D rendering, 3D creating it three-dimensional on the computer to make it look like these malls and things like that. And it's just a continuation of his YouTube series where he did very similar vibes, but with Blender, which is amazing and incredibly difficult, to now doing it on the big screen, where people want to go watch it and view it. And I'm just like Curry Barker, Keen Parsons, Mark Blair, even though they're already successful YouTubers, y'all set for life now. Life, making millions of dollars as directors and visionaries to lead entertainment in the next way, or just guide it or be part of it, and that's incredible. So I got as a film nerd, as a student of the game, I gotta say, yo, that's dope. But also just like it's like it's good to be in good hands, and I feel like I really want to see more of these creators keep creating, and let's just tell stories. It's like we have all this technology. In the 1950s they had cranes and these big cameras. We have a DJI Mic Mini. We have portable cell phones. Let's go out there and create art, and let's tell Let's tell stories that are worth telling. On that note. And then, yeah, I just think the movie was really interesting. I think all the dynamics were good. I think it was simple. I think it was subtle, but there was tension almost throughout the entire movie, and that it just continued to keep you on your seat. And that's what this movie does. It's a suspense show. You got to be like looking around and stuff like that, and it just keeps you interesting. And there's stuff flying on me or whatever because I'm outside, barefoot. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. That it was good. It was really good. It was interesting. It was fun. And it's simple. It is really, really simple. It talks about, this vibe of like your grandmother's basement, or like childhood, and just a furniture store, and just feeling like you're an NPC, and just trying to discover what reality is, and just letting life pass you by. All these examples, these allegories, these metaphors, the voice that's speaking, and the messages in this movie are just out of this world. Fantastic. And again, it is contemporary. I love when things are contemporary, where things are current and they're speaking. Like, even you go back to Kill a Mockingjay, or to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, it's contemporary even now. And I really think the best works are things that stand the test of time, or just contemporary. That just like they don't. They don't feel tacky or cheesy or whatever it is like that. They're not like out of date, like 2000s baggy clothes and stuff like that. It's just like it's relatable all the time because it's so darn true, And that's what this movie is. It's just it's kind of an acid trip, but it's just a journey, and it's fun, and it's not could have been well told, but it's well visually, it's well said, and that's the haymaker of the movie, is the visuals. You're watching it and you're just on a journey, and it's corridors that are creepy, a tunnel, and it was not this big horror movie soundtrack, or these big horror movie sounds of like dun 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 dun, dun, like Jaws or something like that, which credit to Jaws. But this is about subtle, this is about not hitting you over the head, not being too blah, 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 preachy. It's just like, hey, look over there, look closer. Do you see that? Boom. That's the type of movie it is. And it just executed. The shout out to Keen Parsons, because he's a certified professional, He just knows what he's doing. He knows the timing and the pacing. I'm very interested to see what he does next, and like how he projects his career, because it's like, are you gonna keep doing Junji Ito stuff? What else can you do? If you did this, I'm always greedy when it comes to horror movies. Give me a horror movie. Let me see what you can do in a horror movie. But again, just stick to what you're comfortable with. Stick to what you want to express and see. And I just want to see, I just want to see more. Again, and it's like, if you're good and you're really good, and it was enjoyable, and people paid money, and they had a great time, and it's shattering box office records, and he was the first person in 20 years or something like that. He's the youngest person to ever make $100 million as a director. We want more, but we just want to see more stories. We want to see what else he can create because that's the bar now. It's just like you've already. Oh, let me not hit my microphone. You've already done amazing things. What we just wanted you to do is see you continue because it was good and it was fantastic and it was enjoyable to watch. And at the end of the day, like, was it worth the money to watch this movie? It is. And I remember there's a lady. My best way of assessing if a movie is a good or not when you're leaving the theater, you hearing people talk about it and they give your honest opinion. It was an older lady in her like 60s and then her grandson or something like that, and he's like 20s. Um, and the mom was like walking, and she was like, "That movie was strange." And then the son waits a few beats, and he's like, "It's supposed to be strange." And that's what it's true. It's like the movie is a strange movie. It is very kind of bizarre and off and unsettling in a lot of ways without being gory all the time and things like that. But that's again the execution of a quality director, which is Kane Parsons. And yeah, and it's an interesting story and an interesting visual story. It's just a very multi-layered movie that is just very, very effective all the time. And the monster is interesting. Again, Renee, uh, Renata, Renat, oh, shoot, Renee, Renat, Renai, Renate. Oh, dang, I'm having trouble saying her name. But the actor lady who was also in it with Chiwetel Ejiofor was fantastic. Um, Renat, Rena. There you go. Just all solid. Good, good, good. Casting was good, believable, fun, interesting. I liked it. Yeah, definitely go watch it. Definitely a must watch, basically. I think that, because again, it's like Obsession, must watch yesterday. Um, Backrooms, must watch because they're just so unique. They're so interesting. And that's what we've been waiting for in the modern era of movies, especially in the 2010s, 2020s. Show me something. Tell me a story. Let me pay my money and be transported into another world and be scared or angry or like adrenaline rush and excited. Let me feel passion. Something, bro. It's like you got 2 hours of my time and my American dollars. Show me something. Tell me a story. Make me a movie and present something so undeniable. It makes those 2 hours worth it. And I feel like this movie does. So yeah, Kane Parsons, the debut's here. The YouTubers are in attack mode. Let's get it.